right. Very good. All right, so we're gonna go ahead. Order is Moretown Select Board here at the John Hogan Meeting Room. So John, we've got Carol sitting in for Sasha tonight, and then otherwise we've got our whole board here. We've got a few guests and then our scheduled guests here. So let's go ahead and go to public comments. Do we have anyone for public comment tonight? General public comments? Seeing none, all right, so we'll move on. Let me just check, make sure there's no online. I was looking to balance today. No, where? Now, let's see, what do we have anyone online? All right, so let's go ahead and go to our first meeting agenda item, and we have GHR Enterprises, which is the salvage yard.
Yes.
Yeah, come on, what's your role, chair on up? Or a chair up? Maybe introduce yourself when you get a moment.
Cal Wilbur.
Yeah, all right, thanks. And I think, do you know what we go around the board, just so,
Oh, yeah, it's only what, foot, right?
I'm Robin Campbell.
Michael Brown.
Callan Streeter.
So Cal, wanted to come in, Sasha asked him to come in after, if you guys remember in our last meeting, you had some questions on the permit. And actually Cal and I spoke this week or beginning or ending last week, was it? I think.
It was the end of last week.
Yeah, I had a good conversation. So I just want to remind the board that as a town, we had limited scope on salvage yards. The state pretty well takes care of those. But we do have, obviously, we're signing up on a permit, so we have some teeth, if you will. But really what, I just wanted to get Cal in. We've had some discussions about the fence. I know we've all had some people discuss it with us. So, Cal, can you share a little bit about, I guess, the people that we've spoken and one of our complaint, and not complaint, but our concern is the fence or lack thereof in some places in the past. I know a couple of years ago you were here and we talked about it as well, and we worked on it, and then it kind of goes back and forth. But I guess we're just looking to hear from you and see what kind of consistency that we can get in maintaining a good working fence, and something that's suitable.
As far as keeping it maintained, I mean, when it goes down, I mean, we try our best to, I mean, last meeting we had, was that 2 years ago? We had some of those down things, so we went right out and replaced them all, and they're still there. Obviously, it's an old fence, and it is like 1,000 feet long, so I mean, try to maintain it. I mean, if there's anything obvious that's down, we try to not leave big holes in there. Also, you can see that people have graffitied it. I don't really know what to do about that. As I was thinking, we could go through and just paint a big black square over it. That would just give somebody a nice new canvas to paint over it again. There's nothing, luckily it's nothing profane or anything. It just kind of is what it is.
Yeah.
And then in the was it last week's meeting? Or 2 weeks ago? Yeah, a couple weeks ago, I don't know if it was you or you had said that you didn't like seeing through the fence. So, I mean, I watched the footage, and then we tried to put up something over those fences so you couldn't see. Obviously, those fences are big. But we have to do tractor trailers, have to get through them. I can only do so much about those. I did try to put some type of screening up.
Yeah,
so we had to
put slats, right, because it's a chain link fence, right?
No.
Oh, no.
No, the gate, if you had,
Oh, the gate's a big old.
he's talking about the gate fence. So if we had an opportunity, I drove by over the weekend, and he's taken some kind of covering material and wrap the gates.
Oh, okay.
So it does achieve what we really, I mean, it's a start. And again, that's what we're looking for, something, and again, it hides that view into the yard, which is something that was a complaint.
Yeah, usually it's not bad at all in the yard itself, but it accumulates and then you'll drive by.
I mean, that's
it's terrible, and then I'll go by the next day and it's all gone. It's like, oh,
it's kind of business. We, accumulate things. I mean, that's how we do our business. We accumulate.
Yeah, of course.
I mean, so
we
try our best to not make it look horrible. I mean, it's just the nature of the beast. You know what I mean? It's just,
No,
it is what it is.
recycling, yeah.
So like I said, we tried to do that with the fence or the gates, sorry. And then the fence, if there's anything down, we try to fix it. More than that, I don't.
But I was, thought, when Phil and I talking about, I don't know whether it's something you might, know about or have any interest maybe, is more of a natural barrier for the fences. And if there's any, groups, whether it's, and maybe I was thinking, the one with the river,
Friends of the
That
river, well, that would be the Friends of the Niski.
at this point, or, and maybe
Planting trees.
do some tree plantings and things like that.
So I will say about that, I need to interrupt you, it is, so like, it goes from the road, and I don't know if you've ever been to those fences, they're so tall, but they don't stick up that high. Because it drops down like,
It's down, yeah.
right from the road down is probably 5 or 6 feet.
Yeah.
And that's where, you know, a lot of problems is the snow plows, which is, all the snow just gets pushed against the fence over and over and over. So putting natural vegetation there,
Always not gonna work, yeah.
it might, if you get it like early enough,
Right.
but it's
There's a
probably.
big, it's a big drainage ditch that's been dug along there.
No, it's just kind of how,
Yeah.
yeah, because it comes from the dump and then it goes
Yeah.
down to the next plateau.
They drop it all down.
In some spots, it drops significantly far, where like I can't see the top of the road if I'm down in there,
Kind of the bank of the road.
you know. on the-
Yeah.
on
I was thinking more, or even as if you're coming from, I guess the east here, heading west, so as you look at the fence that's, you know.
Yeah, the flat side of it, yeah.
Right, flat side.
That might be, it's,
That might be an area where it's against the field,
Like right after the,
Coming from the state garage.
from the.
yeah, coming from the state.
State garage, so
Yeah.
where that starts
Yeah,
out.
there's
There's
that,
a small section of flat there before it drops down.
yeah,
Or as you, it's not parallel to the road, it would be perpendicular to the road as you're looking at it, it comes from the river up.
Oh, it comes from up.
that's that sort of put in for the, yeah. For the river.
right near where the
park.
yeah, where the little park is, yeah.
Between the park and us, there is a river, a creek that runs
That
down.
brook through there.
Yeah, so there is a fence that spans that, that's what that is.
Oh,
And
yeah.
that creek is maintained, or I don't know if it's not necessarily maintained, but it comes from the other side of the road, it comes from the dump. So,
Mhm.
you know,
Okay.
how much are we gonna like go in there? And then that'd be me having to go in there.
Yeah.
Cause it's all
Right.
wooded now, and the only way for me to get in there is start cutting the trail to get in there. So I felt like that was a fairly decent alternative to span that big creek.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Other than that, going through those woods,
Yeah,
cause the woods are so thick in there now. That without going through and
Yeah.
cutting a swath to get something in there, you just can't get anything in there.
Yeah.
And we'd never be able to put new poles in there unless we clear cut a path to get a machine in there, which we would have to go down through the creek or whatever it was right there.
Yeah.
So that's kind of some limiting on us on limit. You know, we did all that like by hand. You know, and we carried all those small pieces of tin to try to patch that up, and then we put that fabric to span the creek.
Is there a plan in the future, like a capital plan for the fence at all?
I think, eventually in the future, like as it's coming down, we definitely like to do something, but then again, like I said, like going from the state to us, you know, we're gonna have to do a serious amount of work to get through there, so, I mean, as it comes down, I probably address it as it's coming down. But as far as the road front, you know, I just fix it as it comes.
Okay. Oh, yes, I mean, that's. We're here to let you know we want to support you, but we want to make sure to try to maintain it. You know, we understand the problems of the feeding and stuff like that. I think you're right. You know, so you start paying it, you're just gonna have someone else paying over that, and it seems to be fading anyways.
Yeah.
Unless you painted it blue like the color of the fence.
Well, yeah, we could paint like, you know, we could paint a silver, piece of silver on there and then just some nice canvas. We paint it a different color, then it would look worse.
Yeah.
And I think it would just invite more. You know, it's been there forever. For the most part, nobody really bothers it.
Yeah. Yeah, I think. You're probably right.
I just have absolutely one question, it's just operational though, just always been kind of curious. Going back in all these years, what happens, with as you process old stuff that has fluids in it? So how do you deal with the fluids?
Everything that has fluids gets drained in that building. On the backside of where that house is, there's a big draining shed. So that all gets barreled and all the gas gets hauled off by a waste gas company. And a lot of the oil gets used in heaters. Some antifreeze.
But there's still a lot of residue, it's just, it must be hard to.
We try our
maintain,
very best to keep
I mean,
it.
plus you bought it from another company too,
Yep.
that was already there for years.
Yep, that's been a salvage yard or of the like for
A long time.
50 years. We do have monitoring wells. So those get sampled once in a
I
while.
mean, there's the state must check it too. as
Yeah.
well. There's
Yeah,
the Lucy
so-
River's right there.
Yeah, we're under the jurisdiction of the salvage rating program. So they'll come in sometimes regularly, just sometimes they'll come in, check on, see how you're doing, make sure everything's hooked up, make sure there's nothing egregious going on, which we do make a really good effort to keep it as clean as possible. Inevitably, it is a salvage yard. And also we can't work so many feet from the river. So we can't have anything so many feet from the river. So we try to keep our distance. So that's.
Questions or concerns for that, Mike?
No, I think I'm good now.
No. Not wrong. All right. So we'll address your comment a little later on, but I don't see any problems with it. I just want to make sure that you understand what we're here for you and also.
Yeah, no,
watching out.
I appreciate what you guys do. I know it's a necessity to keep things looking good in town and, we should do what we can.
Well, I appreciate it.
Yep.
Again, thanks for what you do as well out there.
Yeah. Good work here.
Have a good afternoon. Good evening.
Thanks very much, John.
All right.
Al or Kale?
Cam, I'm sorry.
I put an E, and then I scratched it out.
Okay, Ray, we have you for a FEMA update? Yep.
Hey, everybody.
Ready?
Yeah, it's been a while since I've been in, so I thought I'd give you a quick update. As you probably know, all the planned box culverts are in on Wardbrook and Jonesbrook. We have received, roughly $958,000 of funding for them, which is 90% of 90% of the cost. That makes sense, and we're getting ready to submit another $350,000 for that, and they've been really good about paying it.
Turn around.
Yeah, so I think we're past the tough area where didn't have any money as far as the FEMA reimbursement. There's a few things left to do. This is going back to 2023.
And that's what the reimbursement's for now.
Yeah.
2020.
2023, yes. There's some mitigation work that we've been, still out there. There's one culvert at the, Wardbrook Hog Hollow that, we're working on a permit for. And.
That's not another boss, so is that correct?
No, that's gonna be a metal culvert. Big thing up there is, I don't know what we're gonna do with the residents up there. There's really no way to get a road around it, So, but that's something we'll have to eventually deal with, like a week of, they're gonna be out of access, I guess you might say. I mean, they'll be able to walk through, but they'll have to park the car, walk up through.
I think we want to make sure we let them know sooner than later when
Yeah.
that time's gonna be, because they may have deliveries and things like that.
Right, it's a question now, I mean, we're running out of time and whether we actually do it this year, wait till next year. The state has that October 1st deadline as far as working the streams,
Right.
unless it's really critical,
Yeah.
they would rather have you wait, so.
So something like that, do you also like group the fire departments in and stuff like that, like with like.
Yeah, it's gonna take a little bit of the coordination between, the emergency services is a big item.
Yeah.
So,
No, as far as the access, we were just saying people have to walk in.
yes,
Just that emergency services know about the access as well,
right.
right?
The other one, it'd be the, River Road, they pretty much have done a survey. And, haven't come up with a plan yet, and a cost for that, but at least we're gonna have the design part of it done this year. And that is, again, going back to 2023. We have some funding, I think, right around $150,000 for that, which is probably not enough to do the project, but it'll get us at least engineering and a good part of the project.
That's the raising the road, raising.
Yeah, racing roads,
Yeah.
racing right by barrels, right?
Yeah, it was back.
Yeah. Lover's Lane, as everybody's aware, there's been a lot of management changes in FEMA. And so we pretty much have had to, they have a new group of people looking at the project, and we're not completely starting over, but they are reviewing the project again. And actually, I'm having a meeting with them at 10 o'clock tomorrow. Eventually, we're gonna have a project obligated, but
I still don't know whether we're gonna be able to picture,
no, what I've been saying is, first we have to have the money in place, see what we have.
right.
Yeah.
And then from that, we can determine what we can do.
Yeah.
Or what the town, but it is 90% funding, which is good.
Right. But they want a plan, so.
But they want a plan.
When,
Uh,
we might give you the money, but we need a plan first.
Yeah. Well, as far as last year's work, we pretty much have got all the projects in for review. Some have been obligated but not paid, but roughly out of the approximately $3 million that we put out last year, we've got $130,000 so far. So, but things are going forward. And it's a process, Callie knows, it's a long process. We do have,
Some are obligated, but we actually have our hands on 130,000.
the
I'm just.
130,000 was part of an obligated project, but
Okay,
a lot of the major projects like the Warbrook, the
right.
Common,
Yeah.
Cobb Hill, all those projects are still
Are in the pipeline.
are in the pipeline, so. Right,
But that,
technically, we'll get somewhere, we'll eventually get 75% of that money, whatever
And then
fund they come up with, so the town is gonna have to come up with some money.
Right.
I would get,
It's probably gonna be a couple of years from now.
yeah. There is a couple,
is it 3 million or is it more? It's more though.
it's gonna be more than 3 million is what we have spent so far,
Yeah.
but there's some work that wasn't completed, like the road surfacing, that's
Right.
not being done, or it's being done as we're going.
Right.
There are some culverts, particularly the one on the Moretown Common
Yeah.
on the corner that was mended last year. I mean, basically, it's a temporary fix on that corner that needs to be replaced. We're getting the permit for it, but I don't think it's gonna happen this year. And, that's a $300,000 job roughly.
Hmm.
And a few other box culvert up by Getzinger's. Again, these are all projects that have not been obligated, they're in the process.
So we haven't done them this.
No. River Road, there's a culvert there right before the farm and that dip, right, that
Yeah.
hollow, hog hollow. So these are all projects, all next year stuff, I would say at this point. Unless something's really critical. I guess I'm taking the road that we probably don't want to do unless it's really critical, we should really get our funding in place.
Yeah.
Before we go forward, and that's the way I'm planning this out.
Cause those projects you just mentioned probably to run.
We could all them together, so it'd be nice to get some money.
And they've done some work around it, especially like that Hog Hollow culvert is cleaned out pretty good right now, so.
Yeah.
You know, barring another major flood, which we can never count against, but hopefully it'll hold, you know.
So that's all I really want to do is give you an update where we're at. And that's it.
And great.
Yeah, well, thanks for doing what you're doing. Sure.
Okay.
So, Callie, did you have anything? How did the grass come in up there?
It hasn't, they never came back and did anything with it.
And
I mean, when a day after they hydro seed, someone thinks that's a parking lot, it's not hydro seeded, and it needs to be,
It is, it really is. It's the color of I know what you're saying, it doesn't look like it's hydro seeded, but it has been.
yeah.
when someone who hydro seeds on a basis looked at it and said it's spotty, it's spotty, it needs
But we do
to
need
be
water.
It needs to be redone,
And the contractor is responsible for getting the grass to grow, so.
yes.
I think we have to wait a little bit, see what the water does, if it does come up. He understands that. Yeah,
Cause it does need to come back up, that was part of the deal.
it does, definitely, and he'll stand by that.
Yeah, whether, I don't care what type of seed, hydro seed or not, it needs to grow. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's pretty dry right now.
Yeah.
You can hardly see the water in the culvert,
Yeah.
so,
Yeah. It's really good.
Well, let's give it a little time, Callie, I'm sure you're not gonna, let us forget about it and.
Oh, I'll just leave Sean's uncle on it because he won't forget about it either.
Yeah.
He's probably worse to deal with than I am.
yeah, and I understand, and I'm a neighbor up there too. Last thing I wanna do is have an unhappy neighbor, so,
Right.
That's their fun.
Absolutely, no, Avery's a good contractor, I'm sure is gonna take care of it and make sure the grass is growing before, we've signed off on certainly before any
Yeah.
final checks are issued, there will be grass there.
yeah, he's got a 1-year warranty, so, it doesn't come up, I think next spring, May, whatever. We'll be back reseeding it or whatever, if we have to.
All right, very good. Any other concerns, questions?
Well, just while we're in the FEMA headspace, it is on the 25th. Karen sent that to you or not, at 2:00 at the.
No, yeah, I couldn't see a
Right
time.
here,
Yeah, it's at 2:00.
It's. On the 25th, it's a review of the FEMA buyouts.
Right.
So. If anybody has time, just go to that. Yeah.
Where you meet at that little park right on Route 2?
I believe that's what they were.
Yeah, that's what they meant.
They have a number in the. There's a street address, I think that's.
Okay.
I don't know,
Gotcha.
I haven't looked at to see, but that's the only one I know on there, unless it's the. They didn't say it is that, Carol.
And that meeting is with the rails trails people.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
It's not a review of the buyouts per se, it's with the
Oh,
National Park Service people.
Oh, right. Okay.
Plainfield,
oh, because the way the invite is, makes it seem like it's. Oh, okay.
Well, that was the guy who was here like
Yeah.
last meeting and he talked about self-service stuff.
Yeah, I think a couple of meetings we may have,
Yeah.
signed a letter of intent.
We did, yeah.
With this group.
Okay.
Do that, so that's. All right.
Okay.
Thank you, Ray.
Thank you, Greg, appreciate it. Don, it's, sent here the library town hall stuff. Well, so are you with this group here or?
No, I had talked, emailed with Sasha about, I'm from GMDS and I just wanted to chat with you guys for like 10 or 15 minutes about an orientation event that we're doing in mid-September.
All right, so yeah, so probably that would have been,
Public comment.
public comment, which you know, missed that, but, we're ahead of schedule right now, so why don't you come up, introduce yourself, and why don't we try to get it here under 5-10 minutes?
Perfect. Yeah, it shouldn't take long. I mean, we basically, my name is Sam Jackson and I work at Green Mountain Valley School. And we are doing a sort of an adventure event with our students where they're going to be doing a 60-mile loop that will start at campus, go up and over to Lincoln, out to Jerusalem, back over into Medgar Valley. We'll come down here and at a certain point, we'll head up Moretown Mountain. Well, the precise sort of route that involves Moretown, we have sort of a regroup at Harwood, and then we'll actually we'll bring the kids by van from Harwood to Hill because Route 100's not super safe. But then the event will pick up here in town. I spoke with somebody at the town hall last year. We've done this for a couple of years, but I wanted to check in with you guys, make sure you were aware, deal with any permits that we might need. But we'll go from basically behind the rec fields up the Pine Needle Path to South Hill. That'll be a run out to Moretown Mountain Road, and then there's a bike up and over to Devil's Wash Bowl, and then we head south through Northfield, and then come back to the Waitsfield Gap and back into the valley, and eventually return to campus. So it's an all-day event. It's September 12th, and you know, it's broken up into legs. Kids are running, biking, hiking to various points throughout the day. So I wanted to check in, see if you guys have any concerns, if there are any issues with us.
Day of the week? What day is it?
Friday.
Friday.
Yeah, and we usually, you know, we would be here probably like between, I would guess, 1 and 2. And it's literally the van pull in, the hikers get out, they head up, and then the vans leave. So it's about a 15-minute, 20-minute
Sure.
stop over.
Yeah.
Sounds like
And you have bikes staged up there, is that the idea? Or?
Yeah, there are bike racks on the van.
Oh,
We
okay.
have
Oh,
pick up with
yeah,
our
right.
bikes, and we'll bring the bikes and the bikers up to
Okay.
wait for the hiker runners to get there, and
Then
then the next leg begins. Exactly.
Have you touched base with our committee at all?
No, I haven't.
Chris Stevenson is the contact there,
Okay.
and do we have his,
Corey, do you know how to get a hold of Chris?
Oh,
No. Stuff got nailed
Yeah.
down.
I know, I'm gonna say. Don't record, I'm
you wanna
Sure.
call him, I guess?
Sure.
Amy,
I can tell you right now, it's 802-373-7112.
7-1-2.
He's great at text.
Okay. Great.
yeah, and he oversees the rec committee, and they take care of the fields, and I'm sure, you know, yeah, just so.
Sounds great.
I may have some, advice for you, you know, with some of the things you're doing. He's very familiar with all that stuff out there.
Yeah, they've worked on the trails.
So probably ask you to do some work on the trails eventually, maybe if you get.
We've sent kids over here quite a few times.
Yeah, they were here last year, I think, right? Yeah.
So.
Well, that sounds exciting. I would have done that, I guess.
Yeah, that's a long day. Yeah, a couple days, actually.
Nobody does the whole.
That's a long drive from me.
And yeah, and this isn't town business, but just so you know, like Waitsfield Gap isn't a public right of way any longer on the Waitsfield side.
Yeah,
So,
the
just so you-
Richards family owns that
Yeah,
farm in Floodwoods.
yeah, but the town road is discontinued, like it's physically there, but there's no legal right of way from the town line down. Just,
Right across the Richards farms.
yeah, correct, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so we've talked to George.
Oh, cool, okay, yeah, cause that's why the gravel growler route got
Yeah.
rerouted, cause I ran into some guy, it's whatever. So yeah, okay, so you know that's it's not
Yeah,
town business.
we've checked in with Jordy about cutting across the field there.
Yeah, yeah.
And open up the fence and close the fence, so, yeah. Any other questions or concerns?
Oh, good.
Thanks for.
All right,
Thanks for coming down and letting us know.
my pleasure. Thank you guys.
Oh,
Yeah, thanks, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right, you're gonna do a lap, right?
Tend to do a lot of recon.
Yeah.
So.
Unfortunately, someone has to drive the van.
Yeah, but he's gonna buy some of it too. Thank you.
Very good, thank you. All right, now we got Big Don and the team here.
Yeah,
Did I get the big drawings?
yeah, and we got, yeah, yeah. Well, we just have these if you wanna look at them afterwards or during the. Well, we're chatting.
Show me on the screen.
Yeah.
So, as we get started,
Do you want me to run that?
Yeah, if you want.
Okay.
good. So,
This is a presentation of it.
it's been a journey from 2020 to now. The board, we certainly, just want to give a shout out because the select board all during this period of time. You know, as you remember, it was, COVID in the library, and very briefly, the library staying there. The ability to use some of the opera funds for schematic design, then, design development, in which we did a lot of community outreach and got feedback from folks and stuff, and then we were able to, hard work some more other people in town. We had a forming capital campaign and we were able to fund the final stage of the construction documents, which is why we're here tonight. And along with, we had a construction manager back there, construction manager who gave us a design that took the design, and gave us the project, cost estimate. So, here we are to review that with you. I just want to mention, just before we start, which is kind of fun as we went through this. A few things that got posted in front porch forum, over the time. There was one, thank you to you all. It made a wonderful food. It came out to show their gratitude to the town for their work. The outpouring is amazing. Another thing, Moretown Town Hall was so fun last night, all lit up with the DJ Maple Syrup spinning the tunes and quite a few young Mortonians spinning away. And then John posted, another time, for the past few years, the town hall committee has worked tirelessly on a plan for much needed renovations to the town hall. This plan would be to increase the hall's use as a community center as well as a library. So here we are at that stage, at that point. So,
So this is basically what we want to go through tonight. We want to just remind everyone of the overview of the project and the goals of it. Looking at the final design and the total project budget that goes with it. Some conversation around a funding plan or next steps anyway, and then, what we're asking of the select board tonight.
sure, so, can everybody see that?
Yeah.
One, I mean.
In fact, just the rest of the, you want to, just so, the.
Oh,
The TV.
yes, we have, I'll let them introduce themselves, obviously, but if you don't know.
I'm Sarah, and son,
Sarah?
You've been on the town hall
Town hall committee.
and Louis Wilson on a capital campaign.
Okay, so our goals right from always from the beginning was to maintain, protect and maintain the historic building. Deal with a lot of the life safety code, compliance and accessibility. Of course, the water mitigation, on site. So you'll see the designs take on that, and then we wanted to also have address sustainability with energy use and building performance. Upgrade the lower level into a multi-purpose space, which was what we got a lot of feedback from people as we went through the past years about how they like to use the lower level. And then create a flexible main level space to house the library and also to keep going with events, which we've managed to do pretty well over the last 4 years, but this
Space.
will, this will definitely, the work that we've done in the design will help facilitate that as well.
And so just to sort of break down the cost impact of each of these goals, you'll see the big, huge chunk of it is really to protect and maintain the building and do the building energy use and performance. And then the lower level, and then finally the library. So just to sort of reiterate that the library's in there and we're taking care of the building and we're stewarding the events. But at the end of the day, it's really not about the library. It's only 9% of the whole project. It's really just about, you know, keeping this community building alive and viable and functional for everyone. And then we'll talk about.
Yeah, it's a little tough to see, so I don't know how much time we'll spend on this right now, but basically, what you're seeing here is not only is that area, the area along what would be the south side of the building, right? Is, and there's a handy, there'll be the accessibility to the rear, there'll be a rear entrance created with new stairs and a new lift that'll be the lower level, the main level, and then also the stage, which we don't have now.
Okay.
And then what you're seeing along the south side of the building there is concrete work. And, you know, obviously there's the handicap parking and the ramp system and stuff to the back of the building. But also in the site work, the concrete work where the old exit is now, where the exit is now, the side entrance. That'll be reworked, and then also the foundation that'll be put in there will be working as
That's part of the water.
Right now, the waste
Yeah.
grade is.
Grades right under.
It's right at the building.
Right at it.
So yeah, and then we're gonna have the full set of drawings either here. Or we can all someday schedule a meeting at the town hall and give a little walkthrough, so we can, you know, and I realize the time we have for this meeting, this is just a start.
So here's the upgraded lower level. There's a lot of mechanical work that needs to be done. Right now, there's flexible ducts. And that's no longer a code, so the duct work will be redone.
Sure.
The ceiling, I don't know how you guys will feel about the ceiling and the big goes there, goes away. We're upgrading the bathrooms to the current ADA standards, but they're staying in the same place essentially. And then that whole complex with the stairs and the lift means the kitchen will need to be shifted and made a little smaller, but way more functional than it is right now.
What's the ceiling going to be, or do you know, or?
It's gonna be exposed.
Okay,
With
with metal ductwork.
Yeah.
Probably painted, and then the lighting will be such that like you're not gonna
Right.
look up at a bunch of pipes.
Like hanging lighting below level, below the duct.
Right.
And then the post office,
Facade.
the boxes,
Okay.
the post office boxes will be in the back on that bigger room.
In this, right here.
Um,
So it'll be more
Yeah.
accessible for people to see it.
And then there'll be storage, and then for, you know, you could use the lift and hopefully for chairs, because eventually.
Yeah.
Those chairs could be replaced, because they're working hard to deal with them.
And then this is the main level, which actually probably has the least amount of work being done to it. The big thing there is the draft lobby, which will really improve energy efficiency and performance. I always like to talk about when we first moved in there, people would come in and be like, it's so warm in here, because they've only been in a town meeting when that door opens, like every 2 minutes. And that will create a children's area and a circulation desk area, and so when people rent for events, you know, if their space will basically start at the front of that draft lobby that they can use, and then all these bookshelves are rolling and movable and can go into that library area. The stage is mostly empty, so it can be used for performances or workspace. And then the lift will access the stage level as well. The current lift that doesn't even really work. Only accesses the main level of the basement, so you can't get to the stage with it, so that would be another improvement in the split.
So you can see the stairs there are also.
So you could go, you know, two people can be on the staircase at once.
Be, right now, then the. Go, yeah. So it's a beautiful
It's a big
project.
reveal. And the columns there, that DD is the design documentation, so that's the phase before this one, construction documentation. And the big thing to note here is that the increase in cost is quite small compared to other projects, what you might expect to see, especially with a year plus of time elapsed. And the other big thing to note is we're showing this in today's dollars rather than trying to project an escalation of what it might be. So this is, you know, if we put the shovel in the ground tomorrow, this is what it costs.
So that comes out to, you know, because people like to have square foot costs, right? That's about $386 a square foot. Which in today's world, that's not really so bad. A lot of the numbers, $500-600 a square foot, so.
Right.
But still, you know, the mission will be obviously how we'll fund such a project, which is the next.
I really appreciated the feedback from Naylor and Bree too, of just how reasonable a project this is in terms of the work they see and do. You know, it's really. We're really just trying to keep the building.
We're just making it functional, not the code and like
Yeah.
expanding the use slightly, not doing like some crazy.
Right.
It's not gonna be
Yeah.
a functional home.
No,
It's gonna be just.
No, is there, like, is like potential future flooding, like is. Like work in the basement gonna be done in a way, like, right, there's like. Like utilities and electric will be up high, so if it floods,
So
like,
the MEP equipment will be.
Elevated.
Yeah.
Definitely, and you talked about the option of like doing flood doors, you know, where you could go put
Right.
them in.
yeah, like here, yeah.
But my understanding is the reason that building flooded in Irene was the stop up at the bridge. up here.
Right, yeah.
We saw it once and it wasn't coming from the med.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
Came
Right.
back, came back.
Yeah, yeah.
And also, we also.
It came backwards down the
yeah,
darn slope that points right to the
Right.
door is what it comes down there, you know.
The slope from the road.
Yeah, I mean, it's like a bulb.
But with some of the 2023 and 2024
Yeah, it's fine.
floods. With the bridge replaced down there and the way they, you know, they built it, you know, with the town also had any problems.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, no, I just, you know, all this work.
As well as for sure, right, absolutely.
Anything we can move. We don't have a lot of the building, move stuff up to the main level, so it's basically raised. It's, you know,
Yes.
second best.
seventh floor. it'll be,
Yeah.
uh,
They'll be 4 feet off the ground, hopefully, right, boilers and stuff like that.
Yeah.
That should be sufficient. We got other problems if we get more than what we get.
So this is the existing funding, the ARPA funds from the town. Started off the design phases of work, capital campaign, we've been able to raise almost $70,000 through private donations. Which really allowed this final completion of the construction documentations, now it's just ready once we have a funding plan. And then we had 3 smaller grants that total about 17,000 for technical assistance, community engagement, and again, bringing these CD documents across the finish line. There were 2 big grants we did apply for and we did not receive. One was the Department of Libraries Capital Fund. They had 70 applications and gave out 14 awards. And then the MERP, which was a Municipal Energy Resilience Program. And again, they very much prioritize the towns with the highest energy burden score, which just has a lot to do with what individuals are paying as a percentage of their income for the energy costs. And so some funding coming up, the capital campaign, we have a $300,000 goal. So that work will continue. There is another library grant that we've been told is happening. It's congressionally directed spending from 2023. We're told it's coming out this year sometime, so there's 3 months left. And they're going to be awarding $500,000 per library. Then there's a village trust initiative. The planning commission did apply for it the first round and did not get it, but the second round has opened up, so it's something to consider because it comes with a sizable amount of funding. But it's really about creating a community-based nonprofit here. And then there's some smaller grants, including this Preservation Trust of Vermont, and I don't know if it's this one or another one, but
Yeah, I think
is it this one?
yeah, one
Okay.
preservation trust, we are applying for, with Cheryl and helping, there's a grant, that we can get money for, because in the project, total project cost, we have as an alternate painting the exterior of the building.
Yeah.
And so, well, that's about 18,000 or so, and the grant, we can get up to 20,000, so we're gonna apply for that and paint, and if we get it, we paint the building. And it's, the disruption in the back is a thing, but it's not made that major. That we couldn't, paint the building and then just, when we get to build it, it'll be a nice facelift for the building that could use a paint job for sure. So that's.
And then the last area of possible funding are municipal sources. So the USDA Rural Development has community facilities loan. We were told we're not eligible for their grant program because the town's median income is higher than the state's median income. But we can go through the loan program, there's a downtown and village center tax credit program. Or, another option is to consider some kind of bond, but that would be voted on by the taxpayers and residents.
And that's the next road to hoe.
So, so I think tonight was to sort of bring everybody back to speed on the work that we have done. Get you thinking about a funding path, possible funding path, most reasonable way forward. If we could get a vote of support for the village trust initiative, they asked for that. The application right now is really mostly like a application of interest. It's not, and then they will let you know if they want you to apply or not. We'll of course apply for the library grant. And then we'll continue our fundraising efforts.
And, for something, certainly I'm not gonna be able to make it tonight. We obviously know there's a lot of financial pressures on the town, flooding, and questions about school, but it'd be good to keep this at least in mind, it's ready. I mean, if some miracle happened, we found the funding, could literally start this project next spring, ready, But, we got a little rough, we got to do some digging.
Right.
Yeah.
I think you've done a wonderful job to put together and get it where you have. At a time where, funds are hard to raise, you've accomplished that. You've spent a significant amount of time applying for grants, which is something I certainly appreciate everyone does, unfortunately. We haven't been hit on them, but I think, your future probably is bright in there. So I think one of my suggestions is certainly do a vote of support for the village trust initiative. And then find out what's going on with that. Is that the $500,000 one?
That is, basically it's the Vermont Council on Rural Development Preservation Trust and Vermont Community Foundation working together. And what they're really trying to do is support towns in building social capital and connections. And they get a lot of technical assistance, and then along with that, they try and lessen your burden of trying to have multiple grants, so they give you, you know, up to $450,000 for your project. It needs to be a separate group from the municipality that is running it, and I think that's one thing we ran into last year, because it's a municipal building. Maybe they weren't sure that it was gonna be a community trust project. I need to go to their office hours. and Figure
Yeah,
that.
see if we could show us community building as well.
So give
The
that,
library.
and potentially the congressional director study as
Yes.
well.
Yeah,
And this has a focus on small rural libraries, so. It's better aligned with our library maybe than the other grant was way more focused on broadband access. That is really how we had to write the grant. And again, they say it's coming out in 2025. We'll see.
it's just
So I think we can take the information we get from that, by town meeting, we should have a reasonably good idea of where those funds would be coming from.
Mhm.
And then we can start a conversation at town meetings, all right, we either have, you know, 800 or 900,000, we need to bond for another 600,000, or. You know, we'll put a bond for $1.5 million, and then we gotta start those conversations.
Yes.
Yes. You know, otherwise, we're just figuring out where's the building is gonna be, you know, another
getting
couple
worse.
$1 billion to fix it up, you know, what's everyone else's thoughts on that?
We can lock down whatever we think we can for funding, and then, you know, I think the voters might support it on.
I think so.
Just based on the capital campaign alone, it seems like there's interest there, so,
Yeah, you know, meantime,
Yeah.
continue the capital campaign.
Maybe by January, we can have a little update and come back to the board and say, here's where we are.
yeah,
In terms of what do we want to do with town meeting.
right.
Exactly.
Coordinate with Cheryl in, make sure we don't miss any of our deadlines, because God knows
Yeah.
they get earlier and earlier now. But, yeah. And,
You know, at least we can know what we might present it to them.
Right. So we'll continue that now to figure out how we're.
something that hot button issue for town meeting, if you want for us to
Right.
talking about a $2 million bond, you wanna say, oh,
I did just quickly pull through that through June this year, there's already been 1,300 visits to the building, so that's may or may not be patrons. We've had a combined 70 programs, either library programs or just groups that are meeting there. You know, when the library's open, so it's definitely used beyond just the library being. It is true that doing nothing's not really an option,
Right.
but what to do is the question.
Well, they're not allowed to do like
pay for it,
Yes, exactly.
a
question. Y'all want.
And so,
Yes.
so, Sasha has this now.
Yes.
So we can have her send it out to everybody, as long as we say you can look at it.
It'd probably be really good just if we can put that on the website too,
It would be good if.
so that people
What's on
can
there
look at it.
in 2020.
Yes.
Yeah, so that people can look at it and just, you know, when they visit, they can see it, it pops up on the front page, so they can take a peek.
Yeah.
And see maybe if they haven't been following it, what's going on.
Carol's the one that can do that, so we'll make sure we can get that.
Yeah.
You know what? I actually, for the first time in all meeting, was just kind of looking at this stuff and missed what you just said.
You're not paying attention to me, all right? When.
At least I admitted it.
Yeah. I'd be totally.
Put it on the website.
No, we're just talking.
That's the short of it.
Yes.
Sensation on the website?
Yes.
Or,
Yes,
Replace the old one.
so I can send it to you.
thank you.
Maybe I can leave the construction documents here too for a while, or maybe these boards leave them with the town.
Yeah, at some point.
Next thing have them should the. No, go ahead.
No, just, so that, yeah, we can come in or take a look at them at leisure.
Yeah. Oh, Definitely, yeah.
Leave
That's
those.
why I wanted that.
Cheryl, I'm gonna.
We also have the drawing where available for someone, but some people look at it online. They send it,
Mhm.
yeah, I'll send it to you, electronic, and you can see a full set of drawings.
And if you want me to, I can post the, if you have an electronic set of drawings, I can get them up on the website.
It's a PDF, I don't know if that, yeah, okay.
Yeah, I guess so, why not?
Sure, more the merrier.
Yeah, people can look through.
And make sure you
have please.
I think the clearer, more transparent you are about putting the information out and the more that people see, I think the better luck you're gonna have when it comes down to potentially in future with having to do a bond vote. Because I have seen bond votes fail because they've gone out, they've been voted on, and then prices change, so you have to come back and ask for more money, and people are like, what are we voting on? Why wasn't this there? So I think the more we can get this out, the more people can see it, the better it will be.
Your first chart was very good as far as pointing out, I think it was 56%.
Mhm.
Sure.
Yeah, that's very.
Right, because
It's like,
I think it's.
ooh, what are we addressing the library, you
Right,
know?
it's not the library asking for $1.5 million by any means, we could leave tomorrow and the price tag still be essentially the same. Cause I certainly understand the viewpoint of, we're on hard times right now, maybe we don't wanna spend that money on the library, but I think the building is important to a lot of people and it's an asset. In the community, yes,
Yeah.
I agree, but you know, I'm biased.
One of the things that'll come out of this, it'll be a place for people, a cooling center.
Yeah. I
Cause
mean,
there's gonna be
it's really not.
AC added, cause of the.
Well, the heat pumps, yeah.
And so, there's people who don't have cooling in the summer, or just as an example, right, another use of building, So,
Yeah, well, cause times are tough doesn't mean we want an asset to just deteriorate.
Right.
As well.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Right, you know.
well, just keeping in mind, hopefully, we get this done before 2035,
Yeah,
cause that's when the building is 200 years old.
right.
You know, no, I mean, I'm just saying, throwing that out to all of us, we'll keep working.
We wanna ask for the bond before we ask for another bond to pay off the FEMA loan the next year, so like, let's slide that one in there.
That's how they invested, in part of the team.
Boy,
More support, appreciate you letting us come in.
thank you, Corey.
Yes, so just wanted to do your quick little vote of support
Trustee.
for the village trust initiative. Then we can
So
submit those minutes.
or I move to support the select board would like to support the village trustee initiative for the town hall.
Second,
Any further discussion on that? All in favor, vote aye.
Aye.
Whatever wording you need on that, just go ahead and throw it.
Okay, that sounds good. Thanks for letting me drive this up.
Thank you, Cory, thank you, Don, ladies.
Yeah, thanks for coming, Sarah, and then 17.
Thank you, ladies. You say you're home.
Yeah, well, we're going to these boards.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey.
Thanks, Corey, see you later. All right. Do we need a light on this now?
Yeah, it's right, they can. All right, so we, Don, good job.
Yeah, well, thank you, yeah, no, so.
Actually, that's good.
Thank you, Kat. Oh, now I can. Oh, that's you.
Right. All right, so let's go ahead, we have some reports and communications. Carol, did you have anything from Sasha left behind that she wanted us to you to share with us?
I have a couple of emails from Charlotte, and I don't have anything specifically Sasha.
Yeah, I heard it from Cheryl, either way.
I'm never quite sure what the name.
Yeah, it's all good. There is enough, it's still probably. Okay, so this here, the first thing we had, kind of an old, business thing, and Mike, this was something that you looked into, it was the property, the tenant board property percent.
Oh, yeah, I got that email today, and so is Craig referring to the one on South Hill Road at the corner? of
Yes.
South, yeah, so I could, yeah, I was gone all day, but, so yeah, I can respond to him directly that. Yeah, the town isn't
Right,
interested.
that's, Mike had shared with us, if you guys remember, that meeting. Interested in
Yeah.
this. He did a look at my, look at the survey and the parcel itself, and it.
Yeah, it's not buildable, and Martin didn't have any interest in it as like a turn or anything. That was like kind of the only reason we would want it, and he wasn't interested, so. So, yeah, I don't think we want it, so.
Good. Good morning, I'm meeting with the potential self at the library today. Our last person, Rachel, has been unavailable for most of the year. Amanda will be starting this Saturday, covering the poll for the next few weeks, so thinking she will need to get paperwork filled out. Is there? No, so I guess they're just letting us know that there's gonna be a new substitute, at the library, helping out.
Yeah, that's good.
Cheryl did mention that, I just want to let us know, so, yeah, payroll, I guess there's a. So that goes on. Cheryl, anything else there?
I have a couple of things that might fall under old business or
Hey, go ahead.
documents to be approved,
The what?
documents to be approved.
Okay,
I've got the
yeah,
permit for
okay, I will do that a little bit later, and then we also have the,
the errors in the.
error of commission that we.
Yeah,
last week.
yeah.
And I did speak to, listers today, or the people who do listers. Okay. All right, so we'll go ahead and do that in a little bit. Carol, is there anything to say?
The only other thing I have here are the warrants.
Okay, so we'll get to that. Robin, what about yourself? Nothing from you tonight. Mike, yourself?
No,
Okay.
Where are we at with CDLs? With the highway guys? Eric,
You know,
I know he's got his permit, but
Yeah.
has he gotten,
CDL.
yeah, and. Class A's, because right now,
you're zero.
0, which means anytime they pull out of the shop with that trailer, they are. Yes,
I am.
which I mean, they're not gonna probably get stopped for it, but if anybody hits them, anything happens.
All four, between all four, they don't have.
Right.
Nobody has any- Sean was the only one who.
So that makes us instantly a fall,
Yeah.
even if it's the other driver's fault.
You know, I'm not sure with Eric's, I don't think he has, but when I spoke to Martin about a week or so ago, I think he said he had it scheduled, but I can't, I don't want to, say that I know it was, that I put on his, and, but I'll follow up with Martin in the morning to make sure, if not, we'll get a date schedule. And also follow up with what's happening, because Eric was gonna go, I think, for the class A as well. We get that endorsement, but we need more than
Just one.
just him.
And I know Sean had offered to sign off on their A because he still has a valid A.
Yeah, okay. I said, I just,
But-
thank you for bringing that up.
Yeah, I mean, it's not just a liability for the town, but it's a liability for them too, because
Yeah.
if anything happens, they're the ones that are gonna have the ticket,
Right,
their license. So,
no, that's, disappointed that it hasn't happened. Anything else, Bill?
no, that,
Thanks for speaking up and writing us here on that.
it was spotty. It was very spotty. And the next day, we had someone pull down there
Mhm.
thinking it was a parking lot. So they couldn't even tell it'd been done.
Very nice. That was-
Yeah,
I
so.
just looked on my phone for. There. Sure. Don, go ahead. Chat.
Well, we're facilities. We're working away at trying to get things done. So I have another item that I need to get approved, which is for the town hall. For washing the town hall, we have money in the budget for this. I've gotten 2 prices. And so basically if I have a price for $800 versus a price for $1,050, so I guess that pretty much wraps that up. JC Soft Wash is the company, and he does have his, he will forward us a W-9 and insurance. So I'd like to, what?
Where's the other?
Oh, that's a good question. Where did he say he's on? I can't. So we'd like to do that. It's actually only for the front face, not the cupola.
Right.
The front face and the south side. The rear and the apartment building side they're fine.
Yeah. We take the dust off and some.
Yeah, it's all from this, but he's gonna softly even wash, beside, get that goop, that's all. So it's exhausted dust and everything on there, so. Anyway, so we'll charge on with that, and I'll work with Sherilyn to get her the paperwork, so assuming everybody's it's fine to do that.
Yeah.
Then, another item, this is just, not non-facilities, is that I do have, this could end up being something similar to like, how we have, and I don't mean this to degrade this, the fact that this is a John Hogan meeting room.
Yeah.
But I'm thinking that I might actually have the town garage bathroom named after me someday. Because
How prestigious,
I know. Cause I found someone to clean it. Okay? So, as you know, I've been talking about it for years and years, this, and then my last stint, that we should get.
if you shoot for the moon, you miss, you still land in the stars.
So,
So.
So you can find someone to clean the bathroom.
So I have found someone who will clean the bathroom 4 to 5 times a month. It's actually Eric's wife, Katie. And the cost to do that would be $200 a month. To clean the bathroom, no, not just the bathroom, I'm sorry, and the office.
Yeah.
To clean the bathroom and the office. Sweep it, dust it, get it clean, it needs to be picked up, it's quite messy if it is, So anyways, we can sleep on it, or we can, see if it's in the budget or whatever, give it a shot. That's where I am with that.
Okay.
Any feedback or?
I don't know, seems pretty reasonable to me. I don't know.
And if it's a service we wanna do, I think it's probably, reasonable, and I think, it's someone that's gonna probably do a good job.
Yeah, I think so.
So
It's expensive, $50 a week. I can't get my neighbor kid to work for 50 months.
Right, so I don't know if that's, it'd be great.
Okay.
She could start, as soon as it's like, she's gotta get it. What would she need as well, like an insurance certificate and a W-9, you think, or?
Yeah.
Would be that way, or you couldn't hire her as part of the town, right?
No, we won't do that.
It'd be an independent contractor,
Mhm.
but she has insurance. She can got the insurance, I don't know if she has the W-9, so. Anyways, we'll get the paperwork organized, so that's that. When you go out tonight, everybody, if you could take, we gotta think about the sidewalk at some point out here, cause it's starting to have a little lift to it. And maybe to try to get it sooner than later, or figure out what we can do sooner than later. Because if someone trips, no, right here, town office side.
Town office center.
is, it's got a little lift to it.
First one is, or we'll find out.
Yeah, when we go out, we can look at it.
I'll follow it.
So we did that.
Okay.
Did I forget, did we set a date for the bridge meeting with the residents or not?
Yeah.
Can't remember.
And,
Did we say we're gonna do that in the fall or something?
Yeah.
I can't remember.
why don't we just do it now? So, our next meeting is the, second of second of September. This Monday is the first.
This Labor Day, right?
Day. That's a little soon, the 15th, how about the 15th of, September?
September.
Yeah, that'll
Yeah.
give the residents enough time to be.
No, it's around the holidays and
Yeah.
back later, whenever, okay. Then.
So, Could, Carol, can you make a note to Sasha to invite? Thank you. Alright,
Okay, something that just to get on our radar is the History Center. If that's the,
yeah,
in terms of how we're gonna go forward with that building and I know we've approved to fix the heater.
Yeah.
But, the heating and the repair work and I mean, I printed out the deed. I didn't bring it with me. It's impossible, just sort of figure out where's that building gonna fall in the history of town, so to speak.
right, and I guess we need to make sure, and that was the point of putting out the deed, is to
Yeah.
figure out the ownership.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, the ownership in the town, so if we're gonna do it, and then.
And then I think in the last meeting, I was wondering if AI could read.
Right, maybe.
Yeah, might be able to. Wouldn't be the craziest thing.
I'll tell you,
I'm sure there's
no
something-
way I can, maybe a younger person.
Yeah, you can
read
send
it.
it to me. I'm sure there's something that you can put like a document into and,
We'll get you the deed.
I mean, yeah, it wouldn't be that crazy if that existed.
I mean, they read all the time,
Someone's gonna be able to read that
For
for
surveys
right?
and stuff, we've done like.
Whew.
Yeah,
I wish I still had a copy with me. It's really.
no, I looked at it, I saw the copy. But you, and the book there, really.
Then we were, we wanted to have Mike back because we were talking about the gravel pit in terms of at least signage for now, or the access question and stuff, and then you
I
want.
mean, yeah, I was just saying like, when I wasn't trying to downplay the safety
No, I
issue at
know.
all, it just stinks. Because it's a nice place to swim.
Yeah.
And obviously, once school starts next week, like people going to it will drop
Be-
significantly.
Right.
But. Yeah, so I mean, I don't know, I don't know if I have like a solution without trying to talk about it. I just was kind of voicing my opinion that like it stinks.
Yeah.
That, next summer, when it's 90 degrees,
We're
you
gonna
won't
have
be
the
able-
same issue.
you won't be able to go there. And, I mean, you can park somewhere, it just stinks, basically.
Yeah.
Right, and I think. Past that time when people are running to the same pit this summer, so I don't want to use it. Make a decision at this point. I think-
No, of course.
No, and I know this doesn't work, but I think we should have this conversation and spend some, this one. It's a very small space, but let's try to figure it out, it's nice to have the access to the river.
Right.
It really is. But we have fire lane we gotta be cognizant of, and we have moving vehicles all the time.
Right.
There may be a solution in there somewhere.
And there might not be, but I was just.
No, I was thinking, but there may.
That's great.
So actually, if you remember, I worked on this in 2020 and I have a little drawing that I did with Craig Oskello. We came up with, a little drawing, so I'll dig that out. We never really went anywhere with it, but, yeah.
Oh, right,
Yeah, let's pick away at it again, because now maybe we have some legs. So we realize that it's a resource that people want to use, but how do we use it safely?
Right, and then maybe like I was saying, down, like there's all that, you'd still have traffic going in and out. But like there's all that area past the dumpster and. Right,
Where all the-
I'm assuming that's like kind of a wetland or something, I don't know, it's all full of knotweed, I've never gone in there because it's all full of knotweed, but. you know, I don't know, so I'll poke around in there maybe, but.
Yeah, there might be some,
Okay,
some solutions, or even when we come up with, all right, these are the times that we can do. Right, so it's clear for the guys working and clear for people.
Oh, yeah,
If I don't think anyone has a problem.
Yeah.
Safety, but we want to just try to make sure we can do it without having to throw the gauntlet down where we say this is closed off to everybody.
right,
yeah, that's a good point. I mean, you know, people are gonna go swimming between 12 and 3. Realistically, right? So then if it just limit, if we had to limit it down to that, not say it's 7, 7-5 or 7, whatever.
Right, we could come up with something like that, but.
Okay, well, I think it deserves a thought, so.
Yep.
And the, only that, cause Mike was asking me about it. Cause the school drainage, that's being worked on, right? Or, you know,
Yeah, so we done, and that's why we have to check, so after the,
you went over, it, right?
yeah, went over, took a look with Kevin. And then was able to get the road crew to go through and clean it up, really what it needed to see where we're at.
Oh, good.
Kingsbury came back in, or I shouldn't say came back in, but came in, with another, solution. So like, and you guys may remember that's here. Let me just get back.
Yeah, there's that way, and
It's, all right, so yeah, here's the road here,
It's Beard's house.
Beard's house is right,
So.
no, that's 100 B.
I think it's this
Yeah,
one.
yeah, they're the orange, so it's the,
Yeah, right, so,
basically, right along that.
so the water's coming down the hill, there is a drainage ditch here, and it came out, and then there was a swale. Kind of went around this whole area here, hooked in, yeah, 'cause this is the road, so it came down. Where this green is, comes around, and it kind of goes uphill, so this is one of the big problem was here, and also over here. It was all leaking out because the swale was basically filled in, so what Kingsbury has proposed, and Ray and I both agree, we think it would do a good job, is we do the swale or drainage ditch where it is, continue, and then when we get in this area here, between here and here, I think it's about 150 feet. There is, let me just get the detail. There's gonna be a manhole in this area, almost in the front of the Beards. Okay. And then 130 feet, the swale's 130 feet. And then it's not sand, but it's about another 100 feet almost, pardon me, yeah, under 100 feet, it says, between the manhole cover, and it goes along, and then it dumps out into this other, drainage pipe there, and out.
So what they're gonna do a manhole, are they gonna do pipe from the manhole?
Yeah, pipe from the manhole, 6 inch,
Pipe and rock from the, okay.
yeah.
Okay, so they're gonna put a drain in there and then run it, tie it in with that other drain. But then I guess my biggest, or not my biggest question, but one of my questions was, cause I met with Kevin last year and we talked about it, and the school did all, wasn't that the school did some of that stuff, and then that's what created the ponding on the Beards, and so I thought we were saying it's a school issue, and then in the notes, the school's saying it's a town issue.
Well, it's.
Or am I miss?
Yeah, I would say it's.
The school said they were gonna fix it.
Yeah, the guy that was here really
Right.
pointed
Right.
it out. He said basically that the swale is filled in so much and there's so much overgrown brush and stuff in there. That what used to basically allow the drain is now puddle.
Right.
So that's the idea. So the puddling is causing it basically to go through the berm or whatever and then flood his property. So that's really what we're trying to address. Originally, they were talking a $27,000 estimate for piping all the way back. Basically, we're trying to trim that.
Right, I think Mike's question is not even so much the solution, but who's.
Right, because the school did all this work, like that new drain, and I wasn't at the last meeting, but I feel like when I met with Kevin Beard, he was saying that the ponding wasn't an issue until the school did that drain. And then like where it's like, and it's probably not now because it's been so dry, but like there's a depression out here and he's saying, this is just right. He was saying that wasn't really there because until they like did this, because they staged all the equipment there and la di da di da. So I don't know. I'm just trying to catch up basically.
Yeah, so what? To Robin's point, the swale was there, but when, and it was actually, it was a joint project between both the school and us.
Okay.
Doing this whole drainage project. What was the first contractor we had?
I think he said it was Avery or something.
No,
The other guy. And they did initially put that drain at the wrong grade, but that was correct.
right, that was correct. But what really happened is they used this whole area for their staging. But it was not at the end, wasn't properly taken care of. Because this, again, the swale came down, yeah, it was filled up with some sediment, but it was compacted, it hadn't been really redone. And then as it went around, and then this whole ditch here in front of Kevin and I walked it, we reminisced about 20 years ago, back when I was kids, it used to get, it would rain, there was a moat around there, and it went right in front of the Beards and Susans and everyone's, and it just ran, there was a little ponding and it would, but it ran out.
Yeah.
When I walked, what I was noticing, I mean, as you got to the Beards, all of a sudden from the Beards.
Yeah, it's going uphill.
It's going uphill.
Right.
So it's not gonna run out, but it's actually, or what I didn't like. So my solution, or what I was thinking, I actually talked to the road crew about, is we'll just do this whole swale and leave the ditch out and we'll let it be, and it should fix it. The back of my mind, I'm a little nervous that right here, we're sending all this water, and we're sending it right straight towards the school. And if this fails, then they're just screwed, and then they're saying, hey, you guys sent all this water there, why'd you do that?
Yeah.
So Ray came with a solution, because we told them at their last meeting, and Kevin mentioned here, and I think much the border, with the $30,000. It just doesn't seem like it's money well spent, and it seems like it was an overbuilt project. But I do agree now, after walking it, for liability purposes for us, I think it's good that this is put in here.
Mhm.
It's manhole is put in here, and then
Because then we're trapped on the town property and.
right, we're just not sending it down, throwing it into the
Right,
pool.
yeah.
It's a 90-degree turn
Okay.
and hooks on with
And
the,
do we have an estimate?
we do, so the estimate of that is $12,736. And Ray, suggested a 50% split, which is what we've done with our MMU. And I think that's fair.
Yeah.
That's town and school.
That's towns would know, so it'll be 6,300. To 68 or whatever, so it's, so it's 12,736 divided by 2.
Who's paying each year? The town and the school?
The town and
The
the
town
school
district.
Okay,
Yeah.
and they're willing to do that, or it'll be?
Yeah, he,
Okay. Yeah.
he was gonna. We talked with him and then he got back to me, and I think his voicemail, he spoke to Lisa, and she thought it was good, and she. Yeah, I said I would check you guys to see if you guys thought it was good. And as I mentioned, Jim, we have a good relationship. At first, I was more like, make us an offer, we'll, and then. About 50%, let's keep the things we're going, so.
Yeah, I think that's a great,
It's a good solution.
yeah, to just send it, hell or high water, just down at the school,
Yeah.
yeah.
Could be a little shaky.
Yeah,
But
so the manhole in and we're like, hey, the manhole.
I think we could get the swale if it's so dry.
I would support that.
All right, so I move that we split the cost with the school on. What do we call it here?
Water mitigation.
The water mitigation.
Yeah.
Yeah, and a drain quote. For a second?
Second.
Mike, Brown, seconds. Any further discussion? All in favor, vote aye. So that's that thing. The other. What should we call you?
I think, no, I guess I'm today.
Alright, okay. So the other thing that came up that we had, was the areas of emissions. So we had the first property, yeah, and this was, Josh with Bureau. With the address.
Straight near me.
Easy up.
Yeah.
But there was a large drop in tax.
Yeah, so his change, so he, bought the property next to him. And made it a contiguous property. His change on his went from 301,600 to 356,200, so it went up 54,600. But the property went down, it had been assessed at 214,600. And now it's at zero, it was added into the other property, so basically that is $54,000 difference. So I spoke to Garrett, one of our lister assistants, I guess. And he did explain that when a property is made into contiguous property, is no longer considered a buildable lot.
Okay.
And in the town of Moretown, and I should have wrote it down, but I was driving, but I think it's 154,000 that we have on that figure that's taken out immediately when a property like that is subtracted. So that's why that drop was as significant as it was. So just so everyone knows, I mean, that was the question I had. That's the answer.
So that next number stays the same to the guy, the 54.
Yeah, so the difference, it's his, on his original parcel, the assessment's gone up 54,000, but it's now including the other property that was there.
That 214,
Yeah,
so it's $150,000 lost tax revenue.
Well, not lost tax revenue.
Lost tax
less.
assessment.
That's actually right.
Yeah, I mean, they view it,
That's
yeah, they view it as like the bigger
And
the
that's
parcel.
because it's no longer.
It's a bigger pot.
Well,
figured, as he said,
It changes like what Tom's saying, like the HBU, like the highest and best use, right? So now he's got like 250 acres. He's a client of mine, so like I emailed the lister and stuff. Or the appraiser, but yeah, so like a 250 acre parcel, like the HBU isn't like a house lot, right? But if it's like a 10 acre parcel. Right, or 1 acre parcel, and like the HBU is a house lot, so the value per acre skyrockets, but like if you took. So that he bought 10 acre lots in a row and made him a 100 acre lot. The value goes way down technically, right? Cause the HBU isn't 10 house sites, it's one house site or one chunk of land or whatever.
So by making it contiguous, would he then have to, if he wanted to subdivide it, he would have to go through the entire subdivision process?
No, not if it's an existing lot, cause like
Well, then why is it not buildable?
well, it's, yeah, but you're not valuing it as a buildable lot, like, right, cause they're not, you didn't like.
Start doing it.
Right, like you're not valuing his two lots that have been put together as like two separate.
So if he was to sell it as a building lot, then it would get reappraised.
Correct, yeah, if he sold it exactly how he's bought it, like the appraisal would change. You know, like go back to what it was when we bought it or more or whatever.
Alright.
Yeah,
Doesn't. Right.
All right, and then we had the last one I know we talked about, but just so was a change, it was increased from 71,600, it was a new utility parcel. Yeah, created state, so. Okay. I would move to accept the errors and omissions.
Second.
That's presented, and it's done. Any other discussions on? All in favor, vote aye. Aye. And then, we had the GHR Enterprises, the salvage yard. Permit. Again, we don't have a lot of teeth when it comes to the state really oversees it or anything. You know, and here's a nice gentleman, I think he's willing to keep things and try to keep things clean, and he did, wrap the gate and do the gate up.
Fences all back up, so, other than that, I don't know what I did.
Good neighbors.
Yeah, all right, so I move to approve the certificate of approval for location in the salvage yard for the GHR Enterprises.
Second.
God, I can't get in there.
Yeah, second is Callie, any further discussion? Carol?
How many years?
2 years.
You're gonna go 2 instead of 5?
Yes,
You're
yeah,
gonna go 2 again?
yeah. Just to keep it, consistent here and that way we know, and keep on track as well. Any further discussion? I guess I asked you that, all in favor, vote aye?
Aye.
Okay. And so we should sign along. And, I think that's it.
I do have one thing, we can talk about it, but the COD request, did you hear anything about that?
Yep, we can go into executive session
If
soon.
we need to.
Yeah, probably,
It's up to you, I just.
I just,
Yeah, we probably should.
yeah, we
We
should
need an
discuss-
update.
yeah, there is an update, and I can give it to you,
Okay,
and,
sounds good.
soon. Yeah, there was, so let's go ahead, before we do that, let's take a look at,
And I do have another thing to remind us about is
yeah,
we're gonna,
In the minutes, we wanted
at
to.
some point, we were gonna have a meeting where we review, or maybe we decided we're gonna do this, the purchasing policy. There was a thing that we needed to review that.
why don't we try to do that at the 15th as well? Sure.
Okay, well, wasn't that something on our radar?
Yeah, oh,
Okay.
absolutely, no, I think that's good, and
Yeah.
as we're going into budget season.
Yeah, well, that and plus, it would be good to, as I'm trying to find some people to do different pieces of work, it would, it would be helpful to have a little handle in that.
Very good, and we have the select board.
So we'll do that on the 15th.
Yeah. Carol.
We'll pass that on to the side.
Yeah, she's got you on it. So they pulled the minutes of 8/4. Second, thank you. Any changes, discussions on that? All right, all for approval, vote aye, please.
Aye.
Aye, thank you. Any other old business down below people have? And a new business. Yeah, good there. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and sign, thing, then we'll go over executive session. So I move, go into executive session, please. For, yes, last time, thank you. Second. Which we're gonna discuss the, Charles Davis, all in favor, vote aye.
Aye.
Yeah.
You have to shut down and leave now.
Oh, yes, thank you.
Have that, pass it to Don.
This is confidential.
It's on the phone, sorry.
Thank you.
Phone already sent it.
You're good to go, we won't do anything.
I did not sign what was.
Very much.
Um,
Yep, I'm doing it.